Hey everybody, Josh Johnson messaged me and he said, um, what would you estimate the cost would be for a new brand to be successful? Um, is there a legit website needed up front? And what kind of fabric do you prefer? Okay, a couple questions. So I really like the first one because everybody asked me it, or there'll be uh, different iterations of that question, like can I start a brand for 10 grand, can I start a brand for 5 grand, and my general answer to it is you can do whatever you want with what you have. And is it possible to start a brand with 5 grand and 10 grand? I mean, it's possible, but it's gonna be very difficult. I mean, like, it's very tough to say because I've seen a brand spend over $250,000 and not make it because you'll burn through that money so fast. And like, I mean, anything under like $20,000. I mean, you want to start with T-shirts. You know, what I mean, it's not to say that you can build that up and do it. You can do it. You just it would take a lot longer, and you would have to be very vigilant about how you spend your money, because there's like no room for error. You know, especially like because that money is gone. Whatever money that you have is going to be gone, and you're going to put it back into production, back into production, back into production for like years. So you'll never see that money. It's going to keep going into the business. So as long as you know, this is not like some businesses where you'll see a profit after, I mean, I don't even know, like you're lucky if there's a profit in the first year. With apparel, you could do that for definitely like 2-3 years or 2 years. It depends on the kind of moves you make. That's why it's hard for me to speak in generalities about the money. I have to see if if you're 50 Cent's cousin, or like you're like the nephew of Brad Pitt, and you just I mean, like, you could start a brand for 5 grand, get placement on him, have him mention it somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a couple different moving parts. But a friend of mine, I just spoke to him this weekend. The number he likes to use is 20 grand. So for this video, I'm going to say 20 grand is a good amount of money for samples, getting the collection together. And if you're doing wholesale, then getting it to retail. He includes in that budget going to a trade show. So I'm assuming this is for like 1 season of putting stuff out there seasonally for a wholesale market to sell at retail. Now for my plan, if I'm consulting with a brand, I actually take trade shows out of it for like the first at least year, because you need to have proof of concept that money is coming in and that you're selling the product, not creating a project that you can just showcase at the trade show, like a science fair, or like like a portfolio review. You're gonna pay 5 grand at the moment, I think, to be at Agenda, and if no one knows you, no one's gonna buy. You're gonna sit there for 3 days and have paid $5,000 to do it. I'm getting too micro into trade show talk, but it's a big part of budgeting and my friend's number. But I agree that $20,000 is a good amount of money to start a brand. And again, it's a case-by-case basis with some people of how they can whittle out of it and get to another place with using like less money than that, like $10,000. But it's very, I mean, yeah, it's a very small margin of error that you can make. I hope that helps. Anything to add to the conversation, please drop it down below. I'll see you guys on the internets. Peace.